Let's talk about sentences and formulas. Now, let's start with what a sentence is. So let's write a sentence. A sentence is a statement. It is a statement which has no free variables. So which has no free variables. Like so. Now, a free variable is simply a variable which is not bound by a quantifier. So we say it's a bound variable if it is bound by a quantifier, and a free variable if it is not. Now let's take a look at an example here. When I say a statement like for all x, if x is greater than 0, then, so we have an implication here, if x is greater than 0, then there exists a unique y such that y squared is equal to x and y is greater than 0. So this would be an example of a statement that is a sentence because x and y are both bound by quantifiers. So let's just rewrite this in words so it's clear what's being said here. So we're saying for all real number x, if x is greater than 0, then there exists a unique real number y such that y squared is equal to x and y is greater than 0. So this would be the same statement but just written in words. So this is an example. This is what a sentence is. What about a formula? So a formula is a statement which has free variables. So it is a statement which has free variables. Remember, a free variable is a variable that is not bound by a quantifier. So it can have one or more of these free variables. Now, for our example, we can simply take the substatement right here. There exists a unique y. So there exists a unique y such that y squared is equal to x and y is greater than 0. So remember, in the sentence, both of our variables x and y are bound by quantifiers. But in the case of our formula here, y is bound by a quantifier, but x is bound by nothing. Now here's the actual difference between a sentence and a formula. There's a greater meaning to this difference than simply there is or there isn't a free variable. A sentence is a statement about the universe itself, while a formula is a statement about the free variable. So the difference is that a sentence is a statement. It is a statement about the universe or the domain of discourse. Let me rewrite that actually. The universe or domain of discourse because for all x we have there exists a unique y such that. So we're making a statement about the objects of the universe. On the other hand, for the formula, we're saying that for x there exists a unique y such that y squared is equal to x and y is greater than 0. So a sentence is a statement about the universe, while a formula is a statement. It is a statement about its free variables. So its free variables like so. You might need to take a walk to contemplate this difference right here, but it's very important. Now, what we do with formulas, since they are statements about their free variables, is very often we'll abbreviate them by, for instance, a Greek letter phi, and say that it is a statement about the free variable x. Now, since a formula is a statement about x in this case, it is subject to being true or false depending on the value that x takes. So phi of x can be true or false depending on the value of the free variable x, depending on the value of x. For instance, let's say we just modified this formula right here so that y is greater or equal to 0. Then we could say that phi of 0 is true, because when x takes the value 0, then there exists a unique real number y such that y squared is equal to 0, and that is 0 itself. So this would be saying that there exists a unique y such that y squared is equal to x, or is equal to 0, rather, and y is greater or equal to 0, like so. However, if we take phi of minus 1, this is false. So the statement, there exists a unique y such that y squared is equal to minus 1 and y is greater or equal to 0, this is false. Now, if you want to turn this into a true statement, the latter into a true statement, we would say there does not exist a real number y such that y squared is equal to minus 1 and y is greater or equal to 0. So you see here we have an example of a formula which can be true and false depending on the value of our free variable here. Now, in the case of a sentence, let's say this sentence, whoa, that's a pretty big pen. So in the case of the sentence psi here that we're going to call, psi is either true or false. Since it doesn't have any free variable, it's one or the other. Okay, there's nothing that varies. Anyways, we're going to see many more examples of sentences and formulas in the near future, but for the moment I think that'll be it. So take it easy and enjoy yourselves.